Let's Queer Up Entertainment, creator of Queer Green Lantern series, to donate all royalties to LGBTQ plus charities to spite haters.
Already the haters and the queerphobes are out in force, doing everything they can to see that this book tanks. They use code and they make it sound like they have legit problems with a book they haven't read yet. But the truth is, they just don't like that there's a queer hero in the upper ranks of the DCU. The only way we can shut these people down is to make this book an undeniable success. The only way to prove to all the big publishers that there's a huge market for authentic stories about LGBTQIA plus characters, and that these stories are for everyone, is to buy the heck out of books like this. This one's only 6 issues, and each one has a few variants, so I'm asking, if you have the means, buy them up. Buy extras to give to people you think really need to read it. Now, you might say this sounds like a great way for Tim Sheridan to make a bundle in royalties. Well, no. I won't make a penny because every single royalty I receive from these 6 issues will go straight to a charity that's very important to me and that I've supported for a long time, the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which works to prevent HIV stigma and provide compassionate care for all communities. I am asking you to join the Corps. If you care about truth and justice, about shining a light in the darkness, if you think comics are and should continue to be for everyone, or if you just want to force these Comicsgate trolls back under the bridge they crawled out from, please support our book and send a message that the bullying and the lies and the hate have to stop. Everyone deserves to see themselves in comics. Everyone needs allies, and if you're an ally, now is the time to step up. We outnumber them. So let's pool our power, vote with our wallets, and beat these assholes. Add as many of these 4 variant covers for Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, to your pull list today. Pick them up in store next week, Tuesday the 24th. Thank you so much.
This is a great story, and he's told it so well that I don't know what that I'm going to be able to do justice to it. It is common for comic book creators to get on social media and rally fans to buy their newest book. But writer Tim Sheridan, whose credits include Teen Titans Academy, Dragon Age, Absolution, and as of this week, DC Comics' 6-issue miniseries, Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, had something a little different to say. In a video posted on social media, Sheridan asked fans for a favor when it came to the Green Lantern, saying, quote, "The haters and the queerphobes are already doing everything they can to see that this book tanks. But the truth is that the haters don't like that there's a queer hero in the upper ranks of the DCU," end quote. As a result, Sheridan has requested queer and open-minded fans to pick up copies of the series written by him and drawn by Cian Termine, as he would be donating all of his royalties to the Elton John AIDS Foundation. Sheridan says he chose the Elton John AIDS Foundation because he's felt inspired by the singer-songwriter's work and philanthropy for a very long time. The high percentage of the contributions to the organizations goes to those in need, and its attention to supporting a combination of research into a cure, treatment support of those living with HIV/AIDS, and palliative care. The Elton John Foundation, which I think it's great that he's doing, started in 1992. Yep. And they not only do they do work here in the U.S., but they do a lot of work overseas, especially in Africa. They've done a lot of education and testing and have put a ton of money into helping the LGBTQ community and in general those most affected, which in Africa is, more people with economic issues, and so kudos to Sheridan for wanting to help support that, and kudos to the Elton John Foundation because they have just done amazing work over the last 2 decades.
Mm-hmm. Well, as someone married to an avid comic book reader, I'm not allowed to say he's a comic book geek, but I've learned a great deal about the queer community's relationship with comics, and I'm really grateful for Tim Sheridan's activism and generosity. It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. I just think if you're any kind of queer, especially if you live in Florida, you're a hero. Driving on 95 and dealing with DeSantis, we're all superheroes on my book.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, 95 is a clear and present danger, and yes, DeSantis is kind of like a removed, abstract danger.
He's the looming, he's the final evil guy at the end of the video game, at the end of the comic book. That's him. Or him and Trump.
And this ties in a bit to your mission as well. in that you work with LGBTQ plus youth.
Yes.
And certainly it's great to have young people are more of probably the comic readers, I guess, maybe because I quit reading when I was 17. But no, it's about positive role models for LGBTQ plus kids. And you work a little bit in that, or am I just stretching too much?
Well, you stressed. You did stretch, but you did it very well.
Thank you.
I have to applaud that. Snap cut, wonderful. Yeah, I was just more gonna say I always loved watching like the DCU. Marvel's a little dark, which is also hot in different ways. But I think the DC universe has a lot of representation overall. And when they had X-Men is DC, right? You're the one that's married to the
No, X-Men is Marvel.
It's Marvel.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Moment over. I just think the Green Lantern's kind of hot. I love that he's got a ring. You're gay when your entire superpower comes from jewelry, that thing, something. And I just think it's going to be really great. And I was really proud of him actually going out there and saying something. What I do wish he would do is try to do something on social media that would encourage people to get engaged with his mission. Either some sort of posting a photo or some of the artwork and then making his followers have captions for it so they can share and like it. And I would also like to see more of these activists start dealing with local grassroots, smaller nonprofits versus just giving all their money to foundations who have plenty of money but have not been down in the grassroots dealing with people who are living with the HIV and AIDS and know what they're going for versus being cisgender white people who are far above and removed and don't really relate to the people they're trying to serve anymore.
I agree that it is important that we remember the grassroots and we get back to it. But I also just love because queer representation is important, just overt representation, because it's been an underlying, the people who have to hide, who have to get into their special outfits every day to do their superpowers.
Yes.
That's a queer community.
We wear a mask when we're in the closet. We're just trying to pass, be stealth if you're trans. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
So to have this kind of representation is just representation on steroids. It's so incredibly important for our community and for the upcoming generation of LGBTQ plus youth who too many people want to erase, silence, and ignore.
I want to see what Cian Tomei is going to come up with because he actually does a really nice job of creating different shapes and colors and diversity in his artwork. I'm actually really kind of curious to see what he comes up with Green Lantern that's not just six packs. Don't get me wrong, that's nice too, but what else is there?
Sure.
First 2 issues on stands. Let's go find them.
Let's go right now.